everybody. It's Felisa. Welcome to 2020. I can't believe that we're in 2020, y'all. I really hope and pray that all of y'all had an amazing holiday, that you had a wonderful new year. And even though y'all know that I don't really ascribe to the new year technically being on January 1st for us, I believe that your new year starts on your birthday. I do celebrate with the rest of the free world when we enter into another year, especially when we're starting another decade. So I hope that y'all were safe and you brought it in with loved ones and just in a way that you really wanted to celebrate bringing in this new year. And I pray that your 2020 is amazing. Having said that, this vlog is by request. One of my viewers, Afro Samurai, thank you so much for this recommendation, asked if I would watch this particular vlog and give my thoughts and opinions on it. And so I'm doing that for him, and I appreciate that. Like I said, I did go over to the channel and I watched the vlog. And so before I give my feedback, I want to give a disclaimer. I am not a drama channel. I choose not to do that. I don't engage in that. I don't want to be that. So I don't want anybody to misconstrue this as, me going over to their channel and, giving a harsh criticism of content or any of those kinds of things. Nope, not doing it. I merely watched this vlog and I'm giving my feedback. I have no desire to, malign or defame this brother or call attention to his channel in a disrespectful or malicious way. I think that he has a wonderful platform and I appreciated the vlog that he put up. Some of the points I agree with, some of them I did not, and I think that that's just the nature of the human condition. So I'm going to give my critique. In all fairness, I'll leave the link to his vlog below. Please go over and take a look at it. And, you may or may not agree with me. You may agree, solely with the content, and that's fine. But I do want to make sure that I'm providing that for you and that you have an opportunity to view it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Anyway, so like I said, I had a chance to go over to this brother's channel. His name is Immortal Mindz, and the title of the vlog was something like "The one that you're with is prepping you for the one that you want," or something along those lines. If I've gotten it slightly incorrect, I apologize. And so I watched it about 2 or 3 times because I wanted to make sure that I absorbed the content and made sure that I understood, exactly what he was saying. And like I said, some of the things I did, I agree with it. It resonated with me. Some of the things I was kind of like, yeah, no. So this is my commentary. What he was talking about was in the context of relationships and viewing them kind of like from a trust fund perspective, which I'm going to say is, if you've always had money, then you don't really appreciate poverty. Or you don't understand what struggle is. And so you have a difficult time relating. That I can agree with. So you have a certain entitlement and you have a certain, kind of thought process when it comes to money and things of that nature. And so he applied that same principle to relationships. And what he was saying is that if you've never been in a relationship with someone that, just isn't exactly what you want, then you can't appreciate when you get someone exactly that you want. And that if you started off your relationship or started off your dating history with the exact person that was perfect for you, then you really can't appreciate them. I slightly disagree. I don't think that you have to experience the negativity of, crushing heartache or, betrayal or, go through all of the wounds and battle scars that many of us have in order to appreciate a really good and comprehensive relationship and being loved properly. To me, that's kind of like saying, you can't appreciate your dad in the home unless, you've suffered through a single parent household, or you can't appreciate being clean and sober unless you have, participated in the opioid crisis or, been a part of the crack epidemic or, any of those kinds of things. I don't ascribe to that. I'm somebody who has quickly learned to use observation as a good rule of thumb, as I think many of us have. There are just certain things that we are aware of and, certain things that we may have seen even in a peripheral kind of sense that give us pause and tell us, very clearly, run, danger, danger, Will Robinson, danger. Oh God, I just dated myself. But anyway, run quickly, swiftly in the opposite direction. This is not what you want. I think a lot of us have opened our hearts up to, individuals in a way that is appropriate for relationships, but in doing so, we left ourselves vulnerable because that's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of what love is. You can't love without vulnerability. And so once you're vulnerable, pain and betrayal and all those kinds of things can happen to you. And I think a lot of us have experienced that. Where I differed a couple of places was, he gave an interesting description of like loving the Black woman and saying, if he hadn't or if you haven't experienced women of other cultures and of other races, then you don't appreciate the Black woman. And I have a hard time understanding that perspective simply because, if your mama Black, then you probably grew up around Black women, aunties, cousins, things like that. The idea that, you may be limited in your awareness or scope of other types of women doesn't preclude your love or appreciation or value of the women that you see, just based upon your interactions and your day-to-day dealings. I come in contact with men of other persuasions all the time. I don't have a desire necessarily to experience them so that I can appreciate the brothers. I couldn't really make that make sense for me. And perhaps I missed the connectivity or missed the awareness or understanding of what he was saying. It did all come back to appreciating Black women, but I don't know that you have to experience, taste the rainbow in order to come back and appreciate us, and the things that we've been doing all along. I just find that odd. I'm just gonna say that didn't ring true in my spirit. So, we did differ in opinion on that. I also differ in opinion where, that because he made this reference to, if you want a woman who is fit or, does certain things, but you have a woman who isn't fit or she spends a lot of time in the clubs or she uses sex as a weapon or, things like that, like then if you haven't experienced that woman, then you can't appreciate a woman who is what you want. I don't know that is true or should be true. Quite frankly, what you have is a compatibility issue. And I don't know why you would be with somebody like that. Like, I really don't. I think, a lot of times we break our own hearts. Like, why would you be in this struggle relationship with someone who is your complete polar opposite? Like, what is keeping you there? What is feeding your soul? What is actually causing you to want to continue to strive with this woman or man? I would never be in a relationship with somebody who was my complete polar opposite to the point where everything that he did got on my last nerve. Because a fair amount of relationships is acceptance, right? A fair amount of relationships, a great amount of relationships is compatibility. If y'all are not on the same page, just with your thought process, with your goals, if they're not aligned, if you're a family person and this person just want to be out in the street, like what y'all doing? Like you really setting yourself up for failure. I just can't. I can't wrap my head around that. I really can't. And if people are out there really doing that and really settling in these relationships where, you got to continue to have these points of contention, you're always fussing at somebody because they in and out the street or, all those kinds of things, then that should be a good indication that you're incompatible. And I had that in my first marriage and I did not need to have that. Like I really did not. Sometimes we settle for things because we think that that's all that we're going to get. Sometimes people present themselves in our lives and we make relationships out of, just something that should just be a one-time encounter. Seriously. Sometimes we try and parlay, sexual encounters into whole entire relationships. And that's not how it should be. There should be some points of connectivity that is firing on all cylinders. Like, I don't understand the idea of wasting your time. And maybe, that's because I'm much older now. I don't know. I would not, again, I'm stressing, I would not be involved with anyone where I could not have a comprehensive conversation with them. That would drive me crazy. It would. If I needed to have a comprehensive conversation with somebody and all they could do was talk about video games, are you serious right now? What? Bruh, I can't. I'm not gonna be able to can. I'm just not. I'm really not. Like, I'm sir. Like, what in the world? I need to be able to have some kind of comprehensive conversation. If I have an issue, I need to be able to come to you. If we can't do that, if we can't, make it make sense, I'm not gonna be able to make this relationship make sense for me. It has nothing to do with anything else other than compatibility. If we don't see eye to eye on family, if we don't see eye to eye on, the world condition, or even, somewhere in the middle for politics, I'm not going to be able to can with you. I'm just not. And I don't think that I need to experience that relationship and be prepped any more than what I have been. Like, seriously. At the end of the day, we are all responsible for our choices. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for the relationships that we enter into, the people that we entertain in our lives. Many of us entertain people far longer than we should, far longer than is necessary, far longer than the law should allow. We keep those people around us for whatever reason, and we invite toxicity and poor relationships and, these things into our lives. Sometimes, we're blindsided. Sometimes, we've been lied to or, deceived and things of that nature. But once you find out that information, then you have the option and the opportunity to move forward or, to try and save the relationship. It's completely up to you. But this notion that you have to endure those things in order to appreciate somebody who doesn't do those things, it's odd to me. Like, I don't need to do that. You know what that's like? That's like, like when my kids were little, y'all know I got 4 kids. When my kids were little, it took one person getting in trouble. And the rest of them jokers straightened up. Like, none of them they didn't all have the need to, like, now be on punishment and, can't go outside and can't have no TV because they needed to experience that in order to appreciate going outside and watching TV. Like, nope, not, Nope. So if his premise is accurate, then my next man will treat me like an absolute queen. Would have been nice if he had showed up initially. Trust and believe I would have certainly have appreciated it instead of all this foolishness that I've been through with the last 10 years. Like, I'm straight on that. I really am. Anyway, y'all take a look at it. Let me know what you think. I do appreciate this brother's channel. I am going to go and watch a few more of his vlogs. I might even subscribe and support. I think it's important that, those of us who are on this platform that are of the African American persuasion should support each other and, at least offer, some reasonable commentary and not necessarily critique, but, I'm sure that there are points where we wholeheartedly agree and some points that we disagree, but that is the nature of the human condition and definitely the battle of the sexes. Talk to y'all later. Bye.